Hey, good afternoon, folks. Happy Wednesday.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, middle of the week. How's everybody's week going so far? Hope it's very well.
Yeah, well, I have actually got a lot done. I should say, so I'm not.
Yeah, we get a lot done.
Today I'm going to clue you in ahead of time. It's going to be political, but not on a political level. By that I mean I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling. I just want to run through a situation that's going on right now that is absolute insanity.
Right.
Okay.
The topic is about fairness, which
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
So
It's
here we
absolutely.
go.
See my bird back there? Yeah, they'll probably fly over a little bit. Anyway.
Beautiful birds.
Okay, so here we go. So what this is going to be about, obviously, is what's going on with Trump, okay? Trump's been indicted for 91 charges. 91 charges. Now, if you take...
More than a serial killer. Think about it.
Okay, so look at it like this. What he means by that is, if you look at the go serial killer right now, he's only up for four charges, I believe. Four bodies.
4 life terms, right?
So he's looking at 4 life terms.
Right.
So you can figure the average life, I'm even going to be generous. The average life is really like 78 or something. But I'm going to be generous and say 100. Okay? 4 life terms is about 400 years, right? Am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
It's actually probably less than that. Did he land on you?
Yep.
Oh my God. Come here, you. Come here. What are you doing?
He likes my chain.
Anyway, so 4 lifetimes is over 400 years. Donald Trump is looking at 713 years. 713 years.
More than a serial killer, people.
And what this 713 years comes down to is a couple of boxes of classified documents that he has the right to declassify, at any point. He was the president. As long as he did it before he walked out of office, it's perfectly legal. But that's besides the point. That's only one. Now think about that. We're talking about 713 years. We're talking about 7 lifetimes. 7 lifetimes plus 13 years. The other thing
which nobody lives that long.
Yeah. The other indictment is that he supposedly spread false information to the public concerning the elections. That's pretty much that pretty much covers the election part. We'll get to January 6th in a second.
Right.
So, in January 6th, if you go back and you look at we'll get to that in a minute. Okay.
Did we told him that to go look
yeah,
that
I was just going to say that. That's what I'm getting at.
We did tell you to go look that up. Yes.
So basically, what they have to prove right now, okay, in a Georgia case, is that he knowingly knew that he had lost the election and still propagated this information, this whole situation.
That caused the riot.
Well, that goes on to January 6th, but let's get to that in a minute. But what basically they have to prove right now is that his lawyers, and again, they indicted 18 of his close administration. And they did that. They only do that because they want one of them to kind of flip. That's what they kind of hope, and one of them will flip on Trump. It's not going to happen because they're lawyers. They understand their legal system.
They want them to turn on them.
See, this is all part of a RICO Act. And the thing about the RICO Act is it was meant for crooks, for, give me a couple of crooks from the past. Al, what's his name? Al Capone. I'm trying to think of who else. Paulie, Paulie, last name?
Castellano.
Right, Castellano. Paulie Castellano. These guys.
Gotti.
Right. This is who it's meant for. And when you're dealing with them, you're dealing with rats who don't really know the law. They're jailhouse lawyers. So they know law, but they know bits and pieces of it that they think like a mobster's favorite saying is no corpus delicti, no investigation, which means no body, no investigation. So we chop the body up and get rid of it. That's a mobster's view on it. What they don't realize is there are things called extenuating circumstances. Extenuating. It might be actually. I might be right. It might be extenuating. It's not mitigating. I'm confusing the two. That can actually imply that you did do the crime, and you can be convicted on that level. It just has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay, and you can do that with evidence without a body. So anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
This, though.
So what they have to prove here is that Donald Trump knew that his lawyers, who he pays to give him advice, were wrong, and he shouldn't take. And he took their advice knowing they were wrong. Think about that a minute.
This is what they're building a case on.
He took advice from a lawyer he knew was wrong. And then they've got to prove intent, because there's a lot of intent here, that he intentionally spread these to create a situation. Now, the January 6th. If you go back to our other podcasts or other shows, you'll see I actually play what CBS did
cut out.
Yeah, as an edited version.
Right, they cut it out.
And it's like literally they cut out the part where he says we're gonna march over peacefully and patriotically. They cut that right out.
Cut that out. We showed
Where
you
he goes,
last time. Yeah.
we're gonna march over and we're gonna fight. But in between fights, it says we're gonna march over and we're gonna peacefully and patriotically protest, and we're gonna fight as hard as we can.
And even before that, didn't he talk to Nancy Pelosi, House Speaker?
Yes, very good point.
About getting
phenomenal point.
The troops.
Absolutely.
National Guard.
Now, here's another thing. If he was looking to overthrow the United States, okay, or overthrow the election or whatever, why would he offer Nancy Pelosi
40,000?
At
least 20.
What do they call it again?
The National Guard.
The National Guard. I couldn't think of the words. I was getting air raid for some reason.
Just,
why would he offer?
Right.
That's like saying, let's go play a game of basketball. I got 5 people. Here's 15 more for your side. So my 5 people are going to play 20 people on your side.
Yeah, okay.
It's the dumbest thing going. It's just absurd. This is all about stock. Do you realize that if he would have turned around at the end of his term and said, all right, I'm out of politics, none of this would be going on. Not one bit of it.
Right.
Not one bit of it.
They just let him go.
He would be just, another guy.
Another citizen.
Another citizen. And they would probably be inviting him to parties like they did before he started running. The thing you have to see,
people right. Back in the
loved
80s and 90s, they loved him.
The next show we have, I'm actually going to try.
Show you, yes.
I'm going to try to pull up a bunch of pictures of him with Hillary, Bill,
Nancy Pelosi,
Chuck Schumer, right. Adam Schiff,
Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton,
Al Sharpton.
Right.
Do you know Donald Trump actually received the NAACP award twice? Twice. He was. I can't tell you what the exact nomination was, but he actually won it.
And here the man runs for president.
Yeah.
He wins, and he's a piece of shit now.
He's only a piece of shit because the media can make or break you.
Right.
Okay. You could be Mother Teresa, and at times they did it to Mother Teresa even, so I shouldn't even say that.
Yeah, terrible.
But you could be Mother Teresa, and the media can then turn on you and turn the citizens on you.
Right.
And that's what happened.
And that's what they did.
And the reason that they did it, understand,
exactly
you have to understand something. The Democrats had the media wrapped around their finger, and the reason the way they did it was they would give them information that would create a stir, and the media would be very happy with those little drips and drabs, and then the politicians would be very happy because the media wouldn't be going after the real corruption.
Right.
And that, like, we used to have Hunt Brinkley, we used to have I forget the dudes from Watergate. I can't think of their names now. But anyway, we used to have real reporters, Roger Grimsby. We used to have real reporters, Ed Bradley. I can't think of their names right now. I can't.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
That's funny because I can remember Deep Throat of them. Anyway, but I can't think of their names at the moment. I don't know why.
But they were all good reporters.
I'm out of president.
And honest.
Yeah, these were reporters. They had their biases, but they didn't let it interfere with their job.
Right.
They just kind of went with it, and they did what they had to do, and they reported what they had to report.
Right. That's why anybody that's close to our age here growing up, we saw the media. Listen, I watched every channel growing up, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. And let me tell you something. Ever since Donald Trump came along, and I watched almost every freaking news station, and everyone put them down except Fox News and Max News. The only ones that will tell the truth of what's going on out there. Everybody else, from day one, all they did was lie.
I'm going to make a challenge here, okay?
All they did was lie.
And again, I'm not telling you to vote for Donald Trump. I don't care whether you do or not.
You don't care who you vote for.
Again, I'm an independent. I can't stress that enough. I'm an independent. I like Vivek. I like
Kennedy.
I'm trying to think. Kennedy, I think, is awesome. My only issue with Kennedy, and it sucks because I hate to even say it, okay? I really do. But it's his speech pattern.
Yes.
And I don't see the leader of North Korea, the leader of China, the leader of Russia, being serious with him.
Iran,
okay, and I also the other thing I'm not really crazy about. He's too into the whole pharmaceutical industry, and I think like I think you need somebody who's into all the industries, not just
right. That's
you know when you have a pet project, it's not good for us. It's just not good for us.
Nope.
So I like him, and maybe as a vice president I would dig him, because vice president deals with a lot more domestic affairs.
Right. Yes.
Once in a while he gets sent somewhere, but for the most part they're domestic, because if anything happens to the president, you don't want the vice president's next, so you want to keep it kind of close.
And pretty much everybody that's running really can't handle the world either.
Yeah. There's only one person that can, and it's Trump. And the reason that he can is because he's done it all his life.
Right.
You're not talking about somebody,
Right, he's done it before he was president.
Right.
He's done it when he was business.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Now, here's the deal. Okay, I'm going to explain to you this way. Okay? Well, I'm going to explain to you this way. You know what and this is something that everybody here should be able to relate to, okay? So in first grade, you walk into school and you're like as nervous as can be. You're like,
of course.
By 8th grade, you run the school, okay? He walked in first grade when he was born, okay, So all his life, he's met royalty, he's met billionaires, he's met, this was his life. So it doesn't impress him in the slightest.
Right, that's why when he was president, he took care of these people.
Right, so now you're in 8th grade, right, and you're running the place, but now you're going to go to high school, so you're going to 9th grade, different school. When you go to high school,
starting all over.
You're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. How am I going to make friends? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He don't care about that. He's going to high school. He's going to a high school that he's been in all his life. He's going to, the high school is in his living room. He's so comfortable there. He's not impressed by the athlete and the senior athlete. He's not impressed by the homecoming queen. He's not.
Nope.
He doesn't care about king, queen, prime minister.
All those things.
He just doesn't care. Valedictorian, whatever. But he doesn't really care about that stuff.
Nope.
To him, all he cares about is that the United States does better. Right. And how you could come up with that. Now, anyway,
he takes care of the American people first.
I want to make you a challenge if you're watching this. I just want you to challenge. This is an easy challenge, and I'll do it one of two ways. Okay, one is take the thing you think you hate most about Trump. Take the thing you think you hate most. Okay, that he's done. I'm not talking about his attitude, because his attitude is what really we need when dealing with these other leaders.
Yeah, you can't talk to them like, oh,
and if you want an example, look at Kim Jong-un. Okay, for the entire term of Donald Trump, not one missile went. Since Donald Trump, we've had maybe about 100 of them going off, and he's threatened that he's working on more nuclear missiles.
Yeah, and he's threatened over by South Korea, right?
When Trump was in office, he got crap for calling him Rocket Man, but by calling him that,
right.
Kim Jong-un realized you're nothing but a joke to the United States. We'll take you out in a second. And that's what he needed to realize, because that's all he understands. But here's my challenge. So take what you think he did wrong to some section of the world, not the world, but the United States. Like,
right, you're alone.
Like, take example, like people thought for a while that he was putting kids into cages. And then sure enough, they looked back, and it turns out that was 2014 with Obama. That was Obama that started that. So, like, because I did this with somebody already, and they actually said that, oh, well, he was putting kids in cages and separating families. He separated families because he separated them until their genetics could be tested to make sure they were actually related and not
because there were
trafficking
people
a kid.
Taking kids that didn't belong to them and say, that's my son, my daughter.
You have a better shot at getting in. First off, you have a better shot at getting in the United States as a family. And secondly, once you're here, when you sell that kid, you've got a stake now. You've got money.
See?
So, it's a no-lose situation for you to say, that's my kid. So, we separate you, and we check, and then if you are, we put you back together.
Right.
That's what he did. But meanwhile, the cages were from Obama era, and you can check me out. Honestly, check me out.
Look it up.
Now, that's one. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the thing that bothers you the most that he did, and I just want you to look it up and make sure it's real. But make sure, don't just look in some, some Chuck Todd type paper, okay? And even Chuck Todd's coming around. I can't say that. Well, I'll use Rachel Maddow. Don't look in some Rachel Maddow type of thing that is just, look it up for real, okay? Look it up on the AP. Look it up on the under Australian news. Look it up in a real manner.
Showed you that.
And see if it's real. Because I'm willing to bet you it's not. I put money on it. Whatever's pissing you off about him doesn't even really exist. Okay? They say that he's against trans. He's against women. Let's take women first.
Right. Yeah.
He had the most women in his administration of any president ever. Okay, women did so well under his term.
Yes.
Under
his term. Yes.
He's racist. Oh no, let's go with he's anti-Semitic. That's a great one.
Anti-Semitic.
Somehow he's anti-Semitic, but he's too sympathetic to Israel. He's anti-Semitic with 2 grandkids that are Jewish. He's anti-Semitic with a daughter that's Jewish. It makes no sense. It's so illogical.
And how about they call him a racist, but yet the African American communities,
they love him. They love him.
They got more jobs. Their unemployment went down.
It dropped below historic levels.
Historic.
Same thing with Latin.
African communities.
Same thing with Latin.
African American communities.
He has nothing, and like, you can turn around and say, like,
Spanish love him too, because he got their jobs up too. The wages went up.
The only issue I might give a little credence to, and I'm not even giving credence, I'm saying I understand your insanity over it, is the military, okay? So, no, really. So, like, they used to have the thing, don't say it. That was the key. Don't say it. It's not there, okay? I forgot what the phrase was, but, it was like, don't say that you're gay and just leave it be. Listen, if you go in the military, no one should know. No one should know what you are. No one should know if you're heterosexual, homosexual, or anything else. There's no reason. If they know that, then you're giving too much information about yourself.
Right.
Okay? Because when you go there, 2 guys don't know how the other guy fucks the other guy's wife. You don't know. I'm sorry, pardon my language. He don't know if they do it doggy style, if they do it upside down, if they do a pile driver. He don't know none of that. Okay? He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know if they're actually even having sex.
Right.
He has no idea. So all he knows is they're married for some reason. And that's if somebody's married. If the guy's single, he doesn't even know that.
There you go.
You shouldn't know. There's no reason to know.
You have to know he's right.
As far as the military goes, as far as like transgender in the military, I don't have an issue with that as long as you can do the job.
Right.
That's it. You do the job.
We don't care what you are, what you do.
Yeah. So
because when you're in the military, like you say, you're there. You have to be together.
Well, but here's the other thing.
The fight is one.
Well, no, but here's the other thing also. You can't be special, okay?
Right.
The whole reason that they're called troop, okay, each individual soldier is called troop, is because they're supposed to be like robots, exactly the same. You should not look different. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Everybody's seen the movie. Everybody's seen the movie A Few Good Men, correct? I assume we have. I mean, it's like one of the best movies ever made.
Yep.
Well, in A Few Good Men, if you remember, Weinberg turns around to Cruz. Weinberg, I'm sorry, I forget the guy's real name, and he was a comic. He plays Weinberg, the other lawyer, and he turns around to Cruz and he goes, "Don't forget to wear your whites. It's hot down in Cuba." And when he shows up, the guy who picks him up in a Jeep hands him a flak jacket. And so Tom Cruise goes, "It's hot. I don't need to wear that." He goes, "Listen, there's about 50 guys, 50 troops over across that line that would love to shoot a soldier wearing white, okay? Because you look different, you look like an officer,
right? And
they want to shoot an officer."
That's right, when he gets into the Jeep.
So the idea is that everybody looks alike, nobody's a target. And the other thing is, if you're dressing like a soldier and not like a trans person, okay? Which I don't even understand how you would dress as a trans person.
In the army.
You get a certain, you get an outfit. That's the outfit you gotta wear. That's
one
it.
Outfit.
But whatever.
One outfit.
Yeah, and if they're gonna give you the outfit by what genitalia you have. They're not gonna. This is not a social
if you're
club.
A woman, you get the female pants.
Yeah, you are what you are. If you don't like that, don't join.
Right.
It's just that easy. Don't join.
Don't join.
But regardless, okay, so that I might even give you a little credence, but only because I'm saying I can see your lunacy in it. It's the dumbest form going. If you really want to join the army, you're joining, and you really want to join it to fight for America's freedom, that's great. But if you're doing it to make a stand for the trans situation,
it's like a statement, you may know.
You're an idiot. You're just looking. You're a problem creator.
You're a Mulvaney.
That's what you are. You're a problem creator. And you know what, dude? I'm going to tell you something. It's funny you say that because I want to you're taking me off the subject of Trump. Jesus Christ, you're a rotten person.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so
I can't help it. That's my job.
let's just remind me at some point about Dylan Mulvaney, because I want to say something about that.
We'll do.
Because I'll tell you honestly, I didn't think that didn't have to go the way it went. Okay, that really didn't have to go. Where they screwed up, and you're not going to believe this. I'm going to just say this, and remind me to go into this at a later point. I hope my hair is okay. I can't even tell at this point.
We're looking good.
Anyway,
We got this covered.
at a later point, I think the real screw up of that whole campaign. Now, I've really, really delved into it, okay? Because I couldn't believe that I thought this, and I had to check to make sure that what I was thinking actually made sense. And what I think, really, what I think really brought on all of this loss, the 20 bill, from
20 billion.
The whole thing was something as stupid as a picture. And the picture was, now when I say it, you're going to get it. I think you'll get it when I say it.
Oh, okay.
The picture on the can. The picture on the can looked so horrible that it was repulsive. And I'm not saying Dylan Mulvaney is repulsive. Dylan Mulvaney looks like an ugly version of the one from Breakfast at Tiffany's. I forget her name.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, the movie?
I can't think of the name.
It's kind of an uglier version of that, okay? But I'm not saying...
Look at the can.
Look at the can. You'll see what... I just had her name. Look at the can. You'll see. Her teeth are like horse teeth or something. I don't know quite how to explain it.
Like a beaver.
Because she's drawn in.
They
don't take a picture.
Right.
And she's drawn on a curve because the can curves. So it really makes her ugly. I'm not kidding. It's an ugly, ugly picture. And I think...
just go look at the can, people.
Right. And I think that's what started the turnoff of the Budweiser thing, was how ugly this dude or chick or whatever. Call yourself what you want. I don't care. This person was.
I agree.
Okay, so get back to Trump now. So, as I said, 713 years. So he's talking about 7 lifetimes plus 13 years.
Now remember, this is not all fair. Not fair at all.
Now, so we went through the January 6th. We went through the Georgia election, the Georgia election fraud thing.
Speaking of the Georgia election, now...
we went through the classifieds.
They're going after him with the Georgia election because he, like you said, he mentioned... Okay. What about that Stacey Abrams?
Forget it. My God.
Who lost, and she's still fighting.
Yeah.
So why don't they go after her with charges?
Yeah, I told... Not did she... Well, first off, her actual...
She fought to no end.
Not only... look, first off, when you...
And she still thinks she's governor.
At the end of... well, you're right. At the end of the election night, you're supposed to give, a defeat speech. What's it called again? A concession speech. Concession speech. You're supposed to give a concession speech, okay? And she stood up there in front of everybody and said, I am not conceding because we won the election. That's her exact words. Yep. If you want to give me a minute, I'll see if I can pull it up. But that's her exact words. And it's not just her.
Really,
it's not just her. This Hillary Clinton who turned around and said, you can do everything right. You can campaign. You can do it. And the election can still be stolen from you. How about Maxine Waters?
Maxine Waters
he's not a legitimate president. How about Adam Schiff? He's not a legitimate president. How about Schumer? Not a legitimate president.
We all said it.
I don't get it. It's okay to contest. Let's go all the way back to Gore. Let's go back to Gore.
Oh, Gore, yes.
Gore, Gore swore he won the election. No issue with that. That was okay.
Go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. No, he didn't face 700 years. 700 years. Do you know what it takes?
All these people interfered. He just said, my brother just said, Gore, Clinton, Abrams, Waters, Schumer. What happened?
Do you know what it would take, okay, to put that type of pressure on you? In other words, what would be at stake for the people creating these charges? That they would have to come up with that degree, that level of charges. Think about what I'm saying here. They're
just sitting around.
There's no person on the face of the earth that
has more charges.
91 charges. Bernie Madoff, who turns around and ruined. I'm sorry, did I?
No. And that new guy too.
Yeah,
I
know. Yeah, it's the crypto guy.
Right.
Yeah, but Bernie Madoff, the crypto guy, nobody killed themselves over.
Right.
Bernie Madoff had people literally commit suicide. commit suicide.
He took their life savings away.
What? And let's go Joe Biden, man. Joe Biden pulled out troops and let 13 Americans die when they could have shot the dude with the vest. Okay?
Yeah, you know, he had him right in the sights.
He was in the sights, and they wouldn't give the order to shoot him. 13 service members later, there's no, you know.
Right.
And then Joe standing there looking at his watch while the serviceman is
let's see how long it takes.
Because it's taking too long. Come on. I don't even want to get into Joe Biden because
he's disgusting now.
He's just beyond. When you turn around, when they ask you something so simple like, Joe, what do you think of the Maui fires?
Yes.
And he goes, no comment with a smile. When you can do that and you can walk away and not realize, when all it would take is say, all he had to say was, oh my God, those poor people. Oh my God, those poor people. 6 words. 6 words is all it would have taken.
He said 2, no comment.
And with a smile. With a smile.
This is a sick person, people.
And that's another thing, you know.
We're all sick.
Like they're talking about, again, I didn't really want to go into Biden. Shit. You do this shit to me all the time, man. Can you stop it? Okay. Anyway, I wanted this to be just about Trump. But I just can't because now I got to go another way. The cocaine. They say he knows exactly who it was. You know why he knows? Because I think it was his and Jill's. I'm not even kidding when I say that anymore. If you notice, I used to make a joke when he first went into office. I used to say, Hunter must have given him some blow today because all of a sudden he's awake. And I think that's exactly what's happening.
And he gets angry.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. Okay? I think that's why you can't see him because he's whacked out half the time. And, you know, but regardless, the coke was there. That all of a sudden, nobody knows whose it is. Now all of a sudden, ask Joe Biden because he knows. But nobody's asking him. You know, Joe, listen, we've got it backwards at this point. I'm positive we've got it backwards. I alluded to this in the past show, but we got it backwards. Joe Biden hates his son. He absolutely hates his son. The one he liked died. Okay? The one he liked, Bo, is the one he liked.
Right.
Okay? This other one was the sacrificial lamb. And Joe, as much as we think that Hunter Biden is using Joe's name, no. Joe is using Hunter Biden as a bag man. Okay, that's what's happening. That's the real truth.
And Joe's the bad man.
Joe's the one that's setting everything up. He's just doing it through his Biden. Where we're all thinking that it's this brilliant friggin' Biden, you know, like he's the Hunter. He's just brilliant.
No, people. No.
It's Joe. Joe's setting it up from day one. Okay? And what he's doing,
vice president.
And all he's doing is he's making sure that Hunter is far enough away from him through 20 LLCs or whatever it is, that it can't be traced back to him. But that's who it is. And if you check,
that's what he did, right?
If you check, Hunter Biden actually sends a message to his daughter, and it says, "Don't worry, I'll never take 50% of your income the way Pops takes it from me." Right. Okay? I won't ask you to pay my bills the way he makes me pay his. Okay? I'm telling you that he hates Hunter. So when you think that you know this is all about
thanks to Hunter, this all came back to him.
No. He even said he wouldn't even pardon him. There's no father who wouldn't turn around and go, "I'd have to pardon him. He's my son.
Right.
He's my son. I can't watch my son go to jail." But
he said he would.
Think about that. It's because he wants him out of the way at that point. Right now his son just got him in. The best thing for Joe right now would be to have Hunter out of the way, because all he is an anchor. Anyway, okay, so
even though Joe did everything,
it's absurd.
Well, back to Trump now.
Now, okay, so the one thing I gave you, the one challenge I gave you was to take what you think you hate about him that he did, one of his policies, whatever, what you hate about him, and just really look it up. And just really get the fact. Don't take the first fact you come across. Really delve into it and make sure that it's correct. And if you come across with it being correct, come back here, put it in my comment, and I'll look it up and I'll see what I think. And if you're right, I promise
you're right.
I promise you, I will say you are. Look at that. You like that Stevie Wonder impersonation?
We'll say you're right.
I swear. I swear, I would tell you you're right. I'm not joking. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you that too. Now, the other thing is...
like I said, we're independent, so we'll tell you if we're wrong, and we'll tell you if you're right.
The other thing is, if you don't want to take the time to look it up, and you trust me to do it, and I swear to you, I will be non-biased I will look it up.
Yep.
I will either find you factually the correct answer,
Yep.
or tell you I just don't know. The one thing you'll find out about me is if I don't know something,
We'll tell you.
I'm the first one to say I don't know anything about that.
I've done it.
If I know it, believe me, if I know it, you're going to hear it. But if I don't know it, I'm the first one to tell you I don't know.
We're not gonna,
But throw your little idiosyncrasy with him up there, your little pet peeve with him.
Yeah, see.
Up in the comments.
See what
I'll
you come back
read it,
with.
and I'll research it for you, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. But here's the other side of that. You got to take my answer as it is. Okay, you can't turn around and re-argue the answer with me.
Right.
I promise you, I'll be totally non-biased.
We'll be fair.
And if I'm wrong, believe me, you will hear that I'm wrong. You're right. But if you're wrong, you can't take it personal, and you just got to accept what I'm saying. Or prove me wrong. I don't mind if you do that either. If you go out and find some evidence that proves me wrong, I love that. Nothing better than a great debate.
That's how we learn ourselves.
I'm a master debater.
Yeah, that's how we learn. We got to learn, right? A master debater.
That's why I have so much hair on my palms. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I don't see how any human being, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Republican, I don't see how any of you can go along with this thing with Trump. I'm sorry.
You have to be normal.
You'd have to be a lunatic to turn around and go, oh, that's a good thing. That someone's facing 713 years
and really for nothing,
for not having committed a crime.
Right.
I mean, in reality, there's no crime.
There's no crime.
I mean, you can make up a crime. I could turn around and say, well, I'm trying to think of something I can do this with. It basically, these are all innuendo crimes. It's
Well, like you said before you were just saying before, it's all just to stop from the election.
Well, the other thing,
all this is going right into the 24 election.
Well, the other thing is, to be honest with you, they owe him anyway, because they impeached him on a phone call with Zelensky, where he was asking Zelensky to look into Shokin, the prosecutor.
Right, to look into
he was asking him to look into it. They impeached him on that call, saying it was quid pro quo, and it turns out that
Zelensky said it.
It's his obligation to look into corruption. It's the president's obligation to ask to look into international corruption. It's part of his edict for his job. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty much done.
But like we said, is this all fair? Think about it.
There's no possible way you can look at a human being who hasn't killed someone, raped babies,
touched them, nothing.
Something, and say, you deserve 713 years. You deserve the rest of your life. You deserve to die in jail. I mean, it's absurd. Didn't Mark David Chapman just get out of jail?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Who did he shoot?
Oh, you know who's just getting out too? Do you remember, if anybody out there remembers,
Manson?
No, 1988, the officer Burns, the kid that was assassinated outside the Jamaican drug dealer.
Yeah.
One of the guys is getting out.
I mean,
he's getting out.
And so
the shooter.
They're letting him out. The shooter. They're letting the shooter out to the street.
The young boy was shot 6 times in the head.
In jail because Trump's the more dangerous one. To who? That's the question. To who is he more dangerous?
Now we're bringing this to your light of how it's out there.
Right. He's not more dangerous to me. He's not more dangerous to him.
Nope.
Okay. He's not. He's more dangerous to them.
Right.
And what makes him dangerous to them is they can't get him to follow their corruption. He won't do it.
Right.
He's for the United States.
Right.
You don't have to believe that, but I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart.
All you got to do is look at the last couple of years and, oh, Jesus Christ, all of them.
I was born with a talent. Okay, I was born with a talent. I can read people really well, which makes me pretty good at like cards and stuff like that. And it's a talent. It really is. And I when I say I can read, I can usually tell you what the next move a person will make is. That's how clear it is. And I'm telling you, this man, Donald John Trump, has nothing but the best interests
of our country,
of this country at heart.
And like you say, just go back and look when he was president. Look what everybody's done. Look what the way we were thriving.
He had the most peaceful presidency in 80 years. He almost had peace in the Middle East. Think about that. They tried for 70 years to do that. He almost did it in 2 hours.
Everybody respected him because he didn't play games.
He walked into North Korea, the only president to ever do that, without bodyguards. Now, if that's not balls, I don't know what is.
I mean, they could easily.
I don't think you or I would do that.
Nope.
And he just walked in there, looked the guy right in the eye, called him Rocket Man.
And shook his hand.
Turned around to Iran and said, listen, I know where you live. Okay, so if anything happens to any of our soldiers, your neighborhood will not exist.
And he did that, didn't he? Send the bomb in?
He sent the mother of all bombs his first 50 days in office.
Right.
And they knew he wasn't playing games.
And they didn't hear
Why
anything.
do you think? And the other thing was he stopped. He knew how to tie up Putin. Everybody's like, oh, he's Putin's bitch. He's Putin's boy. He tied
Russian
Putin
collusion
up for 4 years.
Right, the Russian collusion.
And it turns out Hillary paid for that.
Right.
But
there
he tied Putin's hands for 4 years by taking his oil away.
Hold on, so you just said Hillary it was proven Hillary paid for that.
Yeah.
But she's not off any account.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Think about that, people.
Her, and what was the name of the
Steele. That guy Steele.
No, the company. Plutonium or something. I can't think of the name of it now. Shit.
Like,
I'm not.
The
we
whole
don't
point
prepare.
is
We're just talking to you. We're just like
these
kind
people
of
don't have
right now.
not one charge against them, and this man has how much? 91.
91. 713 years he's looking at.
And they did more.
Yeah. And you got to realize the only reason they want him away that bad
because he doesn't do their corruption.
Because he's a threat to their corruption.
He did it.
They're not trying to stop him. Listen, they're not trying to stop him from being corrupt because he's not in a position to be corrupt. He's not your president. So he's not being corrupt. They're trying to stop him from stopping their corruption. You know what he says? And it's the truest statement going. He says, they're not after me. They're after you. But I'm in the way. And he's in the way because he chooses to be. This is a man who could have just simply gotten on a private jet and
walk away. Right, walk away.
The country. He could have bought an island and said, fuck the United States, I don't need them.
No, he loves his country.
But he's got grandkids and he's got kids who who's going to be living in this world, and he doesn't want the world like this. And I personally agree with him. And you can't turn around and tell me you like the world the way you don't even know whether to call somebody a he, her, his, they, them, this, that, the other thing.
No, you're right. You don't know if that guy is a girl coming into the girl's bathroom.
Why does it matter? My question is, why does it matter what I call you? I'm not calling you a bad name.
Right.
Why does it matter if I say he, she,
ma'am, sir?
Do you know? Okay, so
you can't even say ma'am or sir no more.
I have long hair. Okay. Do you know how many times people turn around and they'll say ma'am from behind?
Yeah.
Or I'm on the best is when I'm on my motorcycle and I got my helmet on and my hair's flying back.
They think it's a girl.
They think it's a chick, and then they pull up, and I love it when I don't shave and they pull up, see the face, and they just screech off. But what I'm saying is,
remember that time that guy pulled up, said nice legs?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a story, actually. I was on a train one time, and this guy, he was a biker, too. He was like maybe 6'7" or something, 6'6". Like 260, I'll say. And he had like a denim jacket on with a T-shirt. And he's standing there. It was a packed thing, so he's hanging on to the rail, to the thing up top. And I'm standing below him, and, like, I shower every day. I mean, it's just, I can't go without a shower.
We got good hygiene.
So I had, I use conditioner on my hair. So he's standing above me, and he turns, he looks down at me, and he goes, I've never said this to another guy before in my life, but your hair smells terrific. I was like, it was hysterical.
No commercials?
Yeah. He goes, your hair smells terrific. I was like, wow. Anyway, but listen.
The world we're living in today, like my brother just said, you can't say her, she,
isn't that a
sir, and ma'am? I mean, come on.
And you know what? In the 70s, in the 60s, in the 80s, you know what you got told? Sticks and stones will break your bones,
but names
will never hurt you. Especially names that were never meant to hurt you from the beginning. He, she, her, him, they, them, us, we. They're not insults.
No.
They're not insults.
Wait a minute. They don't even want you to say mother or father.
Yep. Birthing person. Well, look at they canceled that. They canceled J.K. Rowling. They canceled J.K. Rowling because she doesn't want to be known as a menstruating person. She wants to be known as lady.
That's what she said.
What she wants doesn't matter. Only what matters is that she conforms to what they want.
Right. See how it works, people? This is the world we're living in. That's why you got to watch out there.
My question to you is this. You figure out what you want to be called, and then I'm going to call you something different, and you're going to be wrong. Explain that. it's just a bunch of dumb crap. And really, if we don't start waking up to this,
Whoa,
the problem
is sick. Yeah,
no,
I agree with you, man.
let's get to the essence of the problem. And I'm going to tell you what the essence of the problem is. The essence of the problem is you have peons who want to be special.
Yep.
And they, in order to be special, they're going to create one little niche that's going to make them special. And then they're like that little spoiled child, that little spoiled child who has to get the red M&M instead of the brown, and they have their little temper tantrum.
I want that red Starburst.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's going to come down to. And it's absurd that one little voice matters. And I'm not saying that it should matter. It should, but it should have a balance of matter. It shouldn't be the equivalent of 1 million people, that one little voice. Okay? And listen, we all have stuff in life that we have to get over.
Sure.
Everybody probably on the face
suck it up, people.
Needs some sort of therapy for something or other. Okay? Whether you get it or not, doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. What matters is that you learn how to handle yourself correctly in public with other people. And that includes handling police situations correctly. You cannot win in a situation with the police.
If you're going to run away.
If you're an idiot and you think you can,
good luck.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Just think about it. Look at the people who tried.
They've got guns. They've got sticks. They've got
tasers.
They've got handcuffs. They've got,
tasers.
You're not going to win.
They got backup.
You're not going to win.
Right.
The best thing you can do
just
is be nice.
Comply.
Just comply. And once you're out of jail, or once you're in jail and you're getting your phone call, that's when you start to create your defense. They are not judges.
Right.
They cannot turn around to you and say, "Oh, well, you didn't do it. Okay, let me let you go." You were already accused. You have to do the job. Anyway.
So what we're saying is, like, you pull over or so stop. Don't resist. Just
the problem is everybody wants to be special. You're not special. No one's special. Okay. You are who you are.
Everybody wants attention today.
Right.
That's what it is. Everybody wants attention.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be me. It's about me. No, man.
I don't
Suck it up, people.
I'm going to bring up Leah Thompson, and I hate Thomas or Thomas. I think her last name. I hate to even do this because I hate to talk about this, but in reality, what?
That's the actress.
No, you're thinking. No, I know who you're thinking of.
No,
that's the swimmer. You're talking about the one from Caroline in the City. I know what you're talking about.
Wonderful.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. That's a great movie. You got a chance, check that out. Some Kind of Wonderful.
And a great song too.
But Leah Thompson is the one from Caroline.
Gotcha.
Leah Thomas is the swimmer.
The male.
And if you go and look, so look into her past, and you don't really see any sort of gender changing, any sort of. All you see is a bunch of losses in the pool. That's what you see, a bunch of losses against other men. Okay, until that one day, 3 or 4 years ago, where she donned the bikini or donned the bathing suit, whatever you want to call it, and jumped in with women. And all of a sudden she's a winner. Now, you don't believe that some of that is the accolades of winning? If you don't believe that, you're out of your mind.
Wanted attention, wants to win, couldn't win as a man against men.
And if I'll go you one better. There's a guy who doesn't even put on makeup.
Oh, gee, that's the best.
He went into weightlifting, and he lifted like 800 pounds. The closest woman lifted like 230 or something like that. Something like that. I don't even know what it was. But he didn't.
I know you're talking about. Yes.
He didn't even attempt. He went in there with a full beard, okay, and he didn't even attempt to look like a woman. Just
go look at
a woman, and he was accepted as a woman.
As a woman.
It's the dumbest thing going.
And if you really look at it, you can see his freaking privates. I mean, the trunks.
And the other thing is, you don't see it from the reverse.
Oh, shit.
And if you guys can name me one sport where this happened, I would really appreciate it.
Yes.
But show me one sport that was a male sport that a female transgender, female to male, went into and won and dominated. Just one. I'm not talking about chess, okay? Because I'm not talking about pool.
Checkers.
I'm not talking about what's that other one? Ping pong.
Ping pong.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like one real physical thing.
Right, like basketball, baseball, swimming.
That a female to male transgender went into and dominated that sport. If you can't tell me one, that shows you how uneven it is.
Like track or something.
Right. If you can't show me one, then that shows you how uneven that is. Anyway, we're out of here, guys.
Yes.
I think we're done. You got anything else you want to say?
That's about it, people. And like I said, Fairness. That's what we're talking about. No,
Listen,
fairness no more.
all we want is for everybody to be treated exactly.
And all these topics we just brought to you, there was no fairness.
And by exactly the same, I don't mean like, literally exactly the same. I mean according to what you deserve.
Right.
What do you deserve? What's your meritocracy? What have you done to deserve what you got? You know what I mean? Just,
Listen, things in life, by the way, I'm 61, my brother's 59 here. We've been through.
Stop telling my age, man.
Yeah, you gotta suck it up. I mean, things happen in life, man. I mean, really, you tell you stories. I'm writing a book soon.
Anyway, guys, I'm just
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just got to implore you to just look into the Trump thing, but do it with
and see if it's called
please.
fairness.
And if you think it's fair, well, I'm not going to argue with it because you have your own thing going on, and But I really think you should. If you take a good enough look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think we're done for today. We might come back with another podcast. I think we're going to do one Friday. Today's Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't done one in a while, so people enjoy
we missed
your day.
you guys. I missed doing it too. I almost did one without them, but I felt like I was cheating. So I didn't want to do that.
People, enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of August. You only got 3 weeks left, and it's Labor Day. So
see you guys.
Let's enjoy the rest of the summer.
You ready?
Have a good one.
Say goodbye, Kerry.
Goodbye, Kerry.
Later, guys.